Fresh Squeeze Noise Eurorack Patch 4. So I got a couple new modules. I moved things around a bit. I had some issues, but after some troubleshooting, I got through that and everything seems to be working fine. So the setup today is pretty much just the two ABCs from Bastl going to my output mixer, and I have my Circadian Rhythms clock feeding the Tempi's clock. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go out of Grandpa into Clouds, and then I'm going to go out of Clouds into one of my output mixers. I'm going to find a sample that I like. I think those are cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one of Circadian Rhythms outputs and trigger A, and then take another output and trigger B. Now we can bring the blend back up for Clouds. Let's take one of the outs of the Tempi into HiHats, Hexinverter HiHats, then we'll go out of here and then just go into another one of these. Let's drop the tempo a little bit. I'm going to use peaks as my kick drum, so I'm going to go out of Circadian Rhythm into peaks, and then out of that into, let's go into the Errorbox. Give it a little crunch. Then we'll go out of the Errorbox into our mixer. Now I'm going to use Circadian Rhythms, just add a kick on the one. Now let's kind of mess with Errorbox. Next, let's take another out from the Tempi and go into the clock input of the micro sequence from Pittsburgh. Double check we are on that. Hit run. Okay, now let's subdivide that up a little bit. There we go. And we take the pitch out, and let's go into the 1 volt per octave of Braids. We can go out of that into the Dub Junior, and then out of Dub Junior, let's go into the VCA, and then take all of the VCA and just go out. Like that delay. So then we're going to take another out of the Tempi and go up to the trigger of Maths. Let's get that down. And then we're going to take the output of Maths and maybe... Next, let's take one of the Tempi outs and run it to the X clock of Rene. Let's take the Rene quantized out and run it to the 1 volt per octave of our STO. Then I'm going to take the sub output of the STO into Pittsburgh Modular filter, and then I'm going to take the low out of that into some reverb, and then I'm going to take the output of the reverb out to the mixer. Let's take another one of the Circadian Rhythms outs and go into the snare trigger, and then we can send the snare trigger out to our mixer. Actually, I'm going to switch this out. I'm going to take the output of the filter from our bass from the STO, and I'm just going to have that go straight in the output of, because I'd like to use the reverb for the snare. So I'm going to take the output of the snare, send that to the reverb from Audio Damage, and the output of that to the mixer. I'm also going to change the direction of the micro sequence to be pendulum. And then just for something extra, Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe, and see you next time.